He told them that I wasn't scared because I didn't flinch when he got into my face, raised his voice and broke my things. And that I wasn't scared when he demanded silence, spraying spit and insults at me like a machine gun loaded with fury, shooting me down with insults in a desperate attempt to put me back in my place. He had convinced himself that I wasn't scared because he couldn't see the knots forming in the pit of my belly, and he didn't feel the way he caused my chest to tighten and my breath to turn shallow. He didn't hear the million thoughts commanding me to run, be still, keep quiet, shout back. He barely noticed the tears that I tried to conceal until I could find a moment of safe release. But I was afraid that I might be one of the 3 women killed every week because I dared to answer back, to give him lip. And I was afraid that he might smash up my house because I ran my mouth. And even when I had found the courage to share this, I was rightly afraid that I'd be disbelieved and that his friends and family would back him out of a sick sense of loyalty. We all know too well that society will ask why I didn't leave, as if leaving could ever stop an abuser from enacting abuse on another. The truth is, I didn't flinch because he wasn't the first to make my voice shake. Many before him have visited violence upon me, and I'm sure they would have me believe that I'm to blame and that my experiences are the result of the poor choices I've made, but I refute that as a convenient excuse. Because it's hard to see a white flag in a sea of red flags when a sea of red flags is all you've ever known. And it's hard to see the warning signs when the warning signs are normalized and sexism is institutionalized. And then we witness victims being victimized by agents that were hired and we pay to protect us. Men are murdering us daily because society neglects us. And then we're gaslit into believing that this shit reflects us, as if compliance to patriarchal norms ever made men respect us. Nah! I won't internalize the blame for the violence that men enact and we've been forced to tolerate. So to every sister listening, discard any shame you've carried because it doesn't belong to you. And if nobody believes you, I do, because I see my scars in yours. I see your stories in mine. I recognize that fear and anger behind your eyes because I am enraged too. You are not crazy. You are not tapped. You do not have a problem and you are not confused. The abuse you've become used to is not just domestic, it's systematic and programmed into the mechanics of every home and institution. From the police to the PM, from nursery to university, in management and the economy, in the media and in policy, maternity and oncology. Yet our country's leaders refuse to criminalize sexism and misogyny and hide behind empty promises and meaningless apologies, so we must continue to push back until they take accountability. And when that day comes, we won't have to pause to consider the potentially fatal consequences of speaking out. We won't silence ourselves for fear of being beaten up if we shout back. We won't have to weaponize and weave door keys between our fingers after dark. We won't have to walk against the traffic or take the long way home because men make it dangerous for us to walk through the park. We won't have to police the police or our tones or the way we dress. We won't have to write poetry about our oppressors one day. We won't have to live like our lives are constantly under threat. One day.